years and counting. The O'Reilly Factor.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Answer Beck and Call segment. Tonight, Glenn Beck has been reporting on Google's tremendous influence over world events. And the Beckmeister has come up with some very interesting information regarding the giant corporation. I talked with him last night. Both Beck and I are, what, limited in our internet skills? Would that be accurate?
No, I'm a computer programmer, part-time.
Yeah, I know you are. So basically, we look at the computer, and then we have other people do whatever has to be done. But you have raised a very interesting storyline about Google.
Yeah, actually, I haven't. Google has. There were two people that are instrumental in the revolution of Egypt. Both of them were vice presidents of Google. When we started to do our homework on this, we found that the State Department has worked with Google and youth groups, I think it's AYM youth group, to organize this revolution. When you heard the president say it was youth like you, and it's the new media, it is social networking that brought on the revolution. He was talking about Google.
But you believe they have a relationship with the State Department?
No, I don't believe it. I've seen it.
Okay, so we know.
Yeah, we know that they are working with Google. Google has admitted it.
And what does the State Department want to accomplish through Google?
The revolution in Egypt. That's what they were working on, the revolution.
They wanted Mubarak out of there.
Yes. And there are, I think, 4 or 5 executives that have come and gone from this administration. Now, Schmidt, who is the CEO of Google, he said some rather spooky things over the years, which we've outlined in the program. But one of the things that has happened, he stepped down 2 weeks ago, and he just went to a board, if you will, that is also on the board is Van Jones and Drummond Pike from the Tides Foundation. Google has a very tight relationship with the Tides Foundation.
Soros is funded.
Soros helps fund that.
Helps it, right.
Yeah. He also has said...
Do you think this guy Schmidt is a far left guy?
You can look at the Google statements over the past, and you can see that they agree with George Soros in an open society, meaning a challenge, not an open society like a transparent one, but an actual borderless world.
Right. Okay, so you say that the guy who, up until a couple of weeks ago, was running Google, was in bed with Soros and all this philosophically.
And also, there are 4 or 5 executives that are also in bed literally, I mean, well, not literally, but in bed or in the office with the president and working with the White House.
Now, where does it go from here? So they influenced what happened in Egypt. I think that's true. I think it is. You know, the internet, they absolutely used there.
Google, and in their own words, Google, 2 vice presidents of Google actually helped foment revolution in Egypt. And they're proud of it.
Okay.
I just don't want my search engines fomenting revolution.
Well, absolutely. If there is a power behind the throne in America, if there's a corporation that is secretly, because this wasn't public until you figured it out, right?
Yeah, well, we had one guy, and then we pieced everything else together.
Okay. I think the folks need to know about that.
Yeah, look, here's the thing, because they're slamming me now and saying that
Who's slamming you?
Oh, the left. They're saying that I'm calling for a boycott of Google. I have business contracts with Google. Google is one of the most competent businesses out there. One of the only ones. I mean, you can avoid it, but you lose money if you avoid it. It's not the right thing to do usually for most companies. I am wary of Google. They are a competent company, but I will tell you this. I don't think they're reading anybody's email, and I don't think you should boycott them, but you should understand who they are and then ask yourself, what do I believe in? Do I believe that they are open and transparent enough to be able to feel comfortable with them? I think there's enough warning signs here that you need to pay attention to Google.
But they don't have an They don't have an Google itself does not have an editorial posture. It doesn't. It's not like the Factor or the Glenn Beck show.
They do in this way. They can order stories.
Or they can arrange them and say, you know, play them up.
These are the ones, these are the ones when you do a search, etc., etc.
All right, so this is interesting. So you feel that right now, as it stands, it's still this humongous worldwide internet outfit.
I feel the same way that I did about Halliburton or Blackwater or GM. GM, great product. In bed with the government, not comfortable with that. Not that they're doing anything evil right now. Not comfortable with giant, big potential.
Big potential. Okay. We'll keep an eye on it, Beck.
Thank you.
Does your computer still work? Do they?
No, Google's been reading all my emails, so.
Glenn Beck, everybody. There he is. And among